Matt Gutman, No Time to Panic, How I Curbed My Anxiety and Conquered a Lifetime of Panic Attacks. And No Time to Panic, How I Curbed My Anxiety and Conquered a Lifetime of Panic Attacks, Matt Gutman unravels the hidden intricacies of living with anxiety and panic disorders. By sharing his own journey from high-pressure conflict zones as a journalist to confronting his internal struggles, Matt invites readers into a world where anxiety is both a personal battle and a widespread phenomenon affecting millions. This book takes you through Matt's transformative quest to understand the biological and psychological underpinnings of panic. Along the way, he explores modern treatments, like cognitive behavioral therapy and psychedelics, providing valuable insights and practical strategies for managing anxiety. Whether you're personally affected by anxiety or seeking to understand it better, this book equips you with both the empathy and tools needed to navigate panic in everyday life.
Understanding panic. At the age of 12, Matt Gutman faced a life-altering event, his father's sudden death in a plane crash. This tragic moment deeply influenced his path, leading him into the challenging world of journalism, where he developed a reputation for his boldness. Despite covering perilous regions like Iraq, Afghanistan, and Gaza with apparent composure, Matt privately struggled with severe panic attacks. This internal battle reached a pivotal moment when he turned 42, the age his father was when he passed. Shortly after, while reporting on the tragic accident that claimed the lives of Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and others, a panic attack caused Matt to misreport key details, leading to a suspension that forced him to confront his condition head-on. Driven by the need to understand his struggle, Matt delved into learning about panic disorders. He discovered that a panic attack is defined by a swift surge of intense fear peaking within minutes. Fear is a vital reaction to immediate threats, but when coupled with anxiety about future dangers, it can lead to panic attacks. This affliction affects about 5% of Americans and is marked by unexpected episodes and the lingering worry of future attacks. Alarmingly, over 85 million Americans have reportedly experienced at least one such episode. Central to panic attacks is the amygdala, a small, almond-sized part of the brain acting as an instinctual threat detector. It perceives dangers before the rational frontal cortex can intervene. When panic strikes, the amygdala overrides the brain's emotional responses and triggers the hypothalamus to flood the body with adrenaline and stress hormones, preparing it for the fight, flight, or freeze response typical of real danger. The physical sensations of this acute stress match those needed to face genuine threats, which is what makes panic attacks feel so intensely real, even without actual danger. However, in panic attacks, the amygdala misreads everyday stresses as life-threatening, unnecessarily activating the body's emergency response. This misfiring often leaves sufferers feeling like they are on the brink of death, which explains the overwhelming physical sensations experienced during an episode. Matt's journey through this challenging landscape shed light on the intricacies of panic disorders, offering both insight and a pathway toward managing and mitigating their impact. The evolution of anxiety. Anxiety is as ancient as life itself, with roots stretching back hundreds of millions of years. In a quest to conquer his own panic attacks, journalist Matt delved into the world of neuroscience, uncovering how anxiety evolved alongside us. He learned from neurobiologist Robert Sapolsky that key stress hormones, such as adrenaline and cortisol, first appeared around 500 million years ago in early vertebrates. These hormones laid the groundwork for our brain's ability to respond to danger. Dinosaurs, for all their complexity, could react to immediate threats like predators, but they lacked the cognitive sophistication necessary for the kind of ongoing worry that humans experience today. It was the apes, evolving roughly 20 to 25 million years ago, who first harnessed anxiety's potential as a tool for survival. Equipped with glucocorticoids, these early primates could predict possible dangers, mobilizing stress responses even before threats became acute. This capability allowed them to evade dangers proactively, conserving energy and increasing their chances of survival compared to reacting on the spur of the moment. As anxiety became ingrained in their evolution, apes even experienced abstract fears, not needing an immediate chase to trigger anxiety. This advance turned anxiety into a strategic advantage, an evolutionary insurance that prepared them for unknown perils. Humans would later fine-tune this ability. Around 20,000 years ago, we developed complex abstract thinking, pushing the boundaries of anxiety further. Now, our stress responses could be triggered by social judgment and conceptual threats, akin to the reaction our ancestral kin had toward predators. Despite the discomfort it brings, anxiety provided a survival benefit by allowing us to anticipate and prepare for complex threats. Yet, as our cognition evolved, so did our capacity for anxiety. We can now become ensnared by this powerful emotion, overly weighted by abstract threats that aren't as tangible as real danger. This unique human capability transforms what was once a purely adaptive response into a potential challenge, urging us to navigate our modern lives with awareness and care. Breaking the panic silence. Panic attacks often remain shrouded in stigma and misunderstanding. Matt found himself grappling with this reality in December 2020, as he returned to work amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Each time he faced going on air, the familiar, unsettling sensation of a panic attack began to stir. While traveling back from reporting on the vaccine rollout, he felt compelled to share his struggles with panic disorder with the stranger seated beside him. To his amazement, she empathized, revealing her daughter faced similar challenges, which comforted Matt and reminded him he wasn't alone in this battle. Once home, Matt embarked on a quest for support, recognizing the glaring scarcity of formal support networks specifically for panic disorders. Unlike the well-structured support for conditions such as alcohol or narcotics addiction, panic lacked dedicated spaces for those seeking understanding and connection. Psychologist Mitch Prinstein explained that the invisibility of conditions like panic and anxiety contributed to this void. Early psychoanalytic theories further compounded the issue, associating symptoms with taboo topics, thus embedding shame and secrecy within mental health care. Despite the growing awareness of anxiety, panic remains obscured, often misinterpreted as heart trouble or dismissed as mere nerves. This misunderstanding, coupled with many sufferers' unawareness of their own condition, limits advocacy efforts and the development of support systems. Although other mental health issues benefit from destigmatization, panic lingers in the shadows because of its undetectable presence and frequent misdiagnosis. Eventually, Matt discovered an online community, connecting with others whose lives panic had similarly disrupted. Whether driven by fears tied to social scenarios or physical threats like driving or flying, members shared how primal fears dictated their choices and daily existence. This newfound perspective offered Matt solace, as he realized that despite the pervasive panic in his career, he maintained a level of functionality. More importantly, by voicing his fears within this compassionate circle, he started dismantling the stigmas he had internalized. Engaging with others helped disperse the shadows around his own experience of panic, highlighting the power of shared vulnerability in breaking the cycle of silence and shame. Breaking panic's grip. Navigating the turbulent seas of anxiety offers no simple solutions. After diving into extensive research and conversations with top experts, Matt Gutman grasped how deeply panic could grip his mind and body. Despite this, the quest for liberation from its clutches seemed daunting, with numerous therapies offering promise but no certainties. Matt's journey began with cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, advocated by Dr. Michael Telk. This approach wielded a dual strategy against panic: first, recognizing panic as mere illusion rather than reality, diffusing its perceived threats; second, slowly confronting phobias through exposure to systematically dismantle fear. Despite CBT's logical and direct approach, focusing on unlearning rather than innate defect, Matt felt it did not penetrate the heart of his anxiety. Curiosity piqued by a friend's transformative voyage, Matt explored the burgeoning field of psychedelic therapy, guided by psychiatrist Ellen Vora. She noted that psychedelics, after years of stigma, now stood as viable options in modern mental health practices. Psychedelics aligned with Matt's ambition for profound transformation rather than a temporary escape. He embarked on a psychedelic odyssey, guided by mushrooms, ayahuasca, and ketamine, seeking deeper healing beyond conventional methods. These experiences didn't unveil a perfect remedy but opened emotional reservoirs often shielded behind rational barriers. Matt learned to embrace grief when it emerged, allowing intense emotional outpouring to cleanse his soul. Dr. Vora reframed what Matt initially saw as unsettling emotional breakdowns, suggesting they were vital processes of emotional digestion rather than symptoms of distress. In her view, pursuing human experiences in their entirety, including moments of sorrow, establishes true equilibrium, rather than just chasing happiness. Through this journey, Matt not only encountered grief but learned to live alongside it, enhancing his life's richness. Conquer panic simply. Simplifying the battle with panic is essential. After enduring panic attacks and diving deep into understanding them, Matt shares 6 vital insights. First, panic attacks are brief. They last only 15 seconds to a minute. Recognize the fleeting nature of the terror and the manageable aftermath of anxiety. Second, seek professional help when needed. Allowing panic to worsen isn't worth the cost. Third, sharing your struggle with a trusted person can bring immense relief. Alternatively, clergy counseling offers a supportive ear at no charge. Fourth, control your breathing. Slow, deep breaths can disrupt the blood chemistry that fuels panic. Breath work is always on hand for quick relief. Fifth, embrace crying as free therapy, especially crucial for men taught to hide tears. Crying naturally eases anxiety and sorrow, providing chemical relief. Sixth, exercise unleashes endorphins, which bind to brain receptors like morphine, offering a positive, healthy high. Even a brief 10-minute walk is beneficial. Don't let perfectionism hinder you. Managing panic requires recognizing its temporary nature, seeking support, sharing your story, calming breathing, embracing tears, and moving your body. Small steps engender significant change. Despite their complexity, panic disorders are remarkably common.
Matt Gutman's No Time to Panic distills a pivotal message: understanding panic attacks and anxiety can lead to transformative change. Through his personal narrative, Matt offers clear steps to manage these conditions, recognizing their fleeting nature, seeking help, sharing one's struggles, practicing mindful breathing, and embracing emotional release through crying. His exploration underlines the significance of small, actionable steps and holistic approaches to wellness, including exercise and open discussions about mental health. The book's key takeaway is the prevalence and misunderstanding of panic disorders, emphasizing that while the journey to managing anxiety is deeply personal, its challenges and solutions are universal. Matt's story paves a hopeful path toward destigmatization and understanding, showing that with knowledge and willingness, panic can be managed and life can be lived fully.